For more on the trade, let's go to Sara Perlman right now, and she's standing by with Roch Kubatko. Hello, Sara.
Thank you very much, Tom. Let's continue with the trade talk. Are you surprised that it happened so early? It's only July 13th. What are your thoughts on Andrew Cashner being traded today rather than closer to the deadline, Roch?
Yeah, I think it's the timing that makes it a surprise. We knew Andrew Cashner was going to get traded, but we thought it would be closer to that deadline. He's probably the best trade chip they had that we knew was available. Trey Mancini, we still don't really know his status. So we were braced for it, and so was Cashner. The surprise was it happened this quickly. Michael Elias said they worked on it for about a week, and he wasn't going to wait till it got close to the deadline. The Red Sox were aggressive. They made the best offer, and the Orioles wanted to move on it. So I think this checks off a few boxes for them. Moving a veteran who is going to be a free agent anyway, you shed a little bit of salary, and you bring in two international players. They're trying to improve that talent in their system at the lower levels. I know fans probably would rather that they were in the upper levels of the system. We're talking two Dominican Summer League teams, but they really want to infuse more talent. So it made sense for them. They weren't going to wait around. And, Cashner, you're selling high right now. So, as he's pitching this well, they figure go ahead and make the move right now.
Well, Roch, what do you think about these two players they got in return? They're going to be in the DSL. They're 17-year-olds, two of them from Venezuela. So what do you think? It's a little bit risky to have two 17-year-olds, but like Mike Elias said, it's a high risk, but of course you can get a high return in the long run.
That's everything I know about him, basically. I mean, obviously, Prado, the outfielder, right? He's the outfielder, right?
Yes. We're learning on the fly. We just got their information.
He can run. He's got some pop. They like his potential, obviously. And then, of course, Romero, the infielder, can play all over. If they think he could develop into a shortstop, you can't have enough of them in the system. Then you can always move them to a different position. So there's a lot of upside with both of them. But just like this last international draft, you have to be very patient. It's going to take a long time for these guys if they ever make it up to the majors. But this is what they're looking to do, is to stockpile talent throughout the system. So, yeah, obviously they really like these two guys. They would have held out for another offer. If this was the best offer that was out there for Andrew Cashner, they felt like they had to go for it. There might be some people saying, well, why couldn't you get maybe a bigger name player? The teams know he is a pending free agent. He's a rental, so they're not going to offer their top prospects right now for him. So you may as well go ahead and make this deal. That's how Michael Elias viewed it.
Now, a few months ago, Andrew Cashner told Dan Connolly of The Athletic that he wasn't sure how he felt about a trade. When I talked to him in Oakland, he said it's a possibility depending on the role he would have. He didn't want to get stuck in a reliever role. But when we heard from him today, Roch, he seemed pretty excited to move to a team that's in that wild card race. What did you think of Andrew Cashner's reaction to being traded to the Boston Red Sox?
I mean, it was a bit somber. Look, he's not going to refuse a trade. He doesn't have that power. He's not a 10-5 guy. He's not going to walk away from his contract, but he really does like it here. I think people might assume in a rebuild, worst record in baseball, guys are rushing to try and get out the door, but he really likes this clubhouse. He loves Brandon Hyde and the coaching staff. He likes the direction they're going. He likes being one of the leaders in there, and he really exercised that authority, as we saw many times. So it's hard for him to say goodbye, but obviously he gets to go to a pennant race, defending champions. It's a whole different vibe in that clubhouse. I know that will energize and excite him, but that's something that right now he couldn't really process. The first thing for him is just the shock of I'm leaving and having to say goodbye to close friends and teammates. He did sense a trade was coming. He thought it would happen maybe after his start tomorrow. Like he said something about given the text messages he was receiving. He didn't specify, but clearly he knew something was up. But I think the timing surprised him a little bit.
We heard Mike Elias say that might be the only player they move before the trade deadline. So if there are any other players to go on this Orioles roster, who are they and when do you expect to see any trades happening?
I mean, again, we think Mancini probably stays. Dylan Bundy certainly is the guy they would move, but now we have to see when he can come back from this injury, the sore knee. But he's the guy. I know the Phillies really liked Andrew Cashner. I heard a source telling me they were scouting him. They were going to start heavily scouting him. They were hard on this guy. They didn't get him, but they also really like Dylan Bundy, and they also really like Michael Gibbons. They're looking for bullpen help. So those are two guys that I know are going to have interest from other clubs beyond just the Phillies. So those are two to keep an eye on. Maybe Jonathan Villar as well. Somebody can look at him as shortstop, second base, can lead off, steal bases for you.
All right, Roch, thank you very much.
Thank you.